update for YouTube. One, I cut my hair. I haven't dyed it yet, as you can tell with my lovely streaks. I'm in my pajamas because I'm pretty much gonna go to bed now. And I did my last 5 millimeters, milligrams, 5 milligrams. I just did my last 5 milligram of Zepbound. My last doctor's appointment, I know it was last week, I don't remember what day. I weighed 140 pounds, so I've basically lost 50 pounds. And no, I don't have a double chin. I mean, if I do that, of course. My collarbones are more defined now. And by the way, I have broad shoulders. I'm not fat because I have wide shoulders. Like, seriously? That's my body type. I got my broad shoulders from my mom, wide hips from my mom. Yeah. No. Because I know Nana had wide hips, but mine were wider than hers because she tried giving me a belt that she wore when she was, well, my age at that time. I was like 20, 21 when she gave me the belt, and oh, yeah, there was a belt. I literally could not put it around my waist at all because my hips and waist are bigger than hers, apparently were. Definitely way bigger. My thighs, definitely. She gave me her chaps that she would ride on motorcycles, and she gave them to me because I will more than likely end up riding horses again at some point, off and on. I have off and on since I was a kid anyway. I still have the chaps because I want to get them resized if I can. They're leather, so I don't know the likelihood of being able to resize them. Even then, I was like 125, 130 pounds. I couldn't zip up the chaps over my thighs. I could not buckle the belts around my waist. So, yeah. And of course, Nana's reaction was, I didn't think you were that much bigger than me when I was able to wear that. But then, I don't know, Nana was much smaller, frame-wise as well. She had a smaller frame than me and Mom. Mom has the broad shoulders like I do. That's why growing up, because 90s were pretty known for having padding in the shoulders of some clothing, mainly women's. Yeah, the padded shoulders that were in some of the shirts that Nana gave me, I cut them out because it made me look like a freaking football player because of how broad my shoulders are. Yeah, no, I cut them out. So there's that. I did go to Springs. I think it was not last Sunday, it was Sunday before last, with Kyle and his mom. His mom and I went to Soma, and I did my first bra fitting. Band-wise, they said that the 36s fit very well on me. 36 fit the best for the band-wise. Cup size, they did not have any cup size in 36 in the cup that I needed. The cup that they measured me at and that my new bras are sized at are a H. Yeah, so I didn't think I was that big breast-wise, but I mean, I know I was big. I've always been pretty big. I mean, even when I was underweight at 104 pounds, when I was like, what, 19, 20 years old, I was still a C cup, which for that weight is still pretty decent sized. But a C cup was the smallest I've been. But yeah, that's yeah, and that's probably why I've never looked like completely overweight. That and I don't wear form-fitting clothes that show my belly fat, especially not when I was like 190 something. I don't remember exactly, but before I started the Zepbound, yeah, no, I didn't wear form-fitting clothes that showed every fat roll, and yeah. No, so people didn't think I was fat because one, I have skinny, little thin arms, and same with legs. I have pretty thin stick legs, except for thighs, and then except for my upper arms, which I. I don't know. It doesn't jiggle as much as I thought it was going to. Yeah, I do have some loose skin, but I wasn't morbidly obese. I was just obese, as my doctor said. I was not almost 300 pounds like my sister. And that's another thing about her. Um, she says she's grown an inch. She was 5'3" apparently, which is not true because I'm 5'3", and I've always been taller than her. Also, the growing while taking testosterone, what her saying that she grew an inch is not true because that only happens if you're under the age of 20. She's in her 30s and taking testosterone now. You're not going to grow. Once you're done growing, you're done growing. Even if you're an adult female being put on testosterone, you still don't grow. So that's false. And also, she's a freaking idiot because she says she was using cocaine. And mom even said, like, yeah, no, she's an idiot if she thinks she's not going to get addicted. She's in the hospital apparently because she got an infection by injecting it into her skin, apparently, or whatever. It's like, how does that make sense? It doesn't. You normally snort it. And she even talked about throwing away straws and dumping it out in the toilet. And yeah, and it's like, you know what? None of what you're saying makes sense. Because I'm pretty sure cocaine is snorted and not injected. But then again, it could. It could be both. And more than likely is probably both. But anyway, she says she's in the hospital because of that. She has an infection from where she injected it or whatever, I guess. Yeah. She's just an idiot who doesn't think at all. She says she's an ENTJ, whatever, thinking she thinks. No. She does not think at all. She just does. And then wonders why she gets in trouble for doing shit that she does. And I'm really tired of her saying that Josh sexually assaulted her, because no, Josh did not. Just because he was bugging you to have sex and then you gave in, that's not considered sexual assault. That's you consenting to having sex. Yeah, it gets annoying having him ask you over and over and over again, but you're the one that ultimately gave in and had sex multiple times. Yeah, no. He did not sexually assault you. And it's pretty much the same with Raven and Corey, because you invited them over to do what you're saying they did, was sexually assaulting you. No, you invited them over to have sex. That was the whole reason why they came over. So, no, the police are not wrong in not doing anything because they did nothing wrong. They may have done something that you didn't like and should have been a bit more nicer and actually asked you if this was okay, or if you said right away this is not okay and they did it, then yeah, that's wrong. But police can't do anything because you invited them over to have sex. That's basically the gist of it. It's like, can't do anything. You invited them over to have sex. We can't do anything. Even if they did something that you didn't want them to do and they didn't listen, they can't do anything. So, yeah, and also you cannot withdraw consent. Once you're doing it, yeah, you can't be like, oh, you know what, never mind, I don't feel like this, we're done. No, that's not how it works. And to be honest, who would really withdraw consent in the middle of doing the act? Yeah, no. So anyway, that's her little thing. And I can't think of anything else other than Brent's brother, Blake, sent me an email saying that it's my fault that Brent apparently relapsed. And you know what? This is where I agree with Anna. You were right with agreeing with her from the start. But then, of course, Brent has to manipulate you and twist you and turn you against everything that is actually right, because he is a demon, basically. He is evil. Brent is evil. He deserves to be in prison for the 25 years he's in there for. Yeah, no, that's his own fault. If he can't handle watching my videos and not get upset about me talking about my beliefs, what I believe, what I feel, and what I think, you know what? You surely shouldn't be online then if you really can't handle what I'm saying. Because, yeah, it's stupid. And, no, Brent, I am glad, is in jail for attacking his roommate at the rehab center he went to. He literally attacked him for reading a Bible and bit his ear off, or something bit his ear. Like, seriously? He's a freaking mental nut that belongs in the mental institute as well. Like, I am... You know, I'm not so shocked about the kind of guys that Anna dated, actually. Yeah, they're all mental nut jobs, including you, Blake, and Sume. Actually, the only one that isn't a complete mental nut job is Josh. So, Josh is cool. Josh is pretty nice. So, I'm really not too happy with her saying that he sexually assaulted her, because we all know that's not true. She's just saying shit to get attention. That's basically what it is. She's always just wanted attention, no matter what. No matter what kind of attention, it doesn't matter. As long as she was getting attention, she was going to do whatever it was to get attention. That's just how she's always been. And no, I don't agree with her on her life choices, because they are wrong. One thing that John said about Hazbin Hotel, he doesn't disagree or say that is a bad show. He's like, literally everything bad is in hell. It's like all bad habits and the way that these demons are behaving. It's going on in hell. That tells you something. That kind of behavior ends up going down there. And yeah, I know about her, wishes or wants to be treated like how Valentino, whatever, treated Angel Dust. And it's like, yeah, that's messed up, but that's Anna. What do you expect? She's just wanting that for attention. Again. Anything she does is attention. But anyway, that's enough. That is like literally enough on Anna. Today's Wednesday. So yesterday, Kyle and I talked to somebody from DHS about the CHP insurance, and we kind of have an idea of how we're going to do things. Kind of. We're thinking, because she told us that, like, once we get married, Medicaid will still cover everything for me up until 45 days. They will send you a notice, and then you have 45 days, after that, to get new insurance. So we're thinking on June 25th, once I have my appointment consultation with that surgeon, and hopefully schedule the second surgery, because there's not just one surgery, there's two. Yeah, apparently I have pretty bad hip dysplasia in my right hip, and that's really basically by just fixing the tears and the cartilage in my hip, that's not gonna help anything. And actually, if I don't address the hip dysplasia, the cartilage is more than likely gonna tear again. Because the hip dysplasia, it's not good. So they're wanting to do I have no idea how to pronounce what the PAO stands for, but it's a PAO surgery. It's reconstruction, hip reconstruction. Now, the first surgeon, she referred me to the second one. She did say that hip replacement would be an easier surgery, but since I'm only in my 30s, I'm too young to be getting a hip replacement. And especially with there being no deterioration, whatever, my hip joint is pretty good, except for have hip dysplasia and having the tears in it right now. And the whole reason, another thing, no, come on, no, come on, get up here. Sorry, you guys, Missy is getting on a shelf I don't want her on. You know better. Stay off. On the shelf with my drink, basically. And she likes to knock the drinks down. Or she's pretty much big and clumsy enough where she just gets up there and knocks it down without even trying most of the time. So I don't let her up there. Okay, what's hip dysplasia? My hip dysplasia is the reason why I have the bursitis in my hip, and the reason why I have the two tears in the cartilage in my hip. So I have my consultation for the second surgery, the PAO, is on June 25th. What we're thinking is, after being told that Medicaid will still cover everything up until 40 days after they give me a notice that I no longer I'm no longer eligible for, that was the word I was looking for. I am no longer eligible for Medicaid since I'm going to get married, and Kyle does not qualify for Medicaid, so I will not once we're married. So we're thinking about getting married a few days before the first surgery. So the second surgery, once that's scheduled, I'll call UC Health and schedule the first surgery for a week before the second one. And we're thinking about getting married a few days before the first surgery. That way we can be all moved into our 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that we're going to rent from a friend from church. Yeah. We'll be able to be there and not have any issues with anybody from the church saying, it's like, well, you're not married and you're living together. The thing is, John can't help me. John has cerebral palsy. He's not going to be able to help me get up. Like when I need to go to the bathroom at night, he's not going to be able to help me get up out of bed and go to the bathroom. He's not going to be able to help me get in and out of the shower. And to be honest, I really don't want my brother in the bathroom with me when I'm gonna take a shower. That's just no. And I know I'm not the only sister who would feel like this either. Yeah, no. No, and I'm pretty sure he shares the same feeling. But anyway, that's a big no. He's not going to be able to help me. Kyle is the one that will help me. And that's pretty much what we're planning, is to get married shortly, a few days before the first surgery. Have the first surgery, and then a week later have the second surgery, and then pretty much sign up for the CHP, because once we get married, we can sign up for that. It's a qualifying event to be able to sign up for it. Otherwise, you have to wait till November in order to sign up for CHP insurance. And the one that we're more than likely going to do or go with is the gold, because that was the one that Michelle, the lady we were talking to at DHS yesterday about it, that's the one she recommended, and that's the one that we're probably going to go with, is the gold CHP insurance. They have silver, and they probably have others too, but the gold was the one that she was recommending, and that's the one that we will more than likely do. Can you behave? Stay off the shelf, please. Yeah. It'll be nice. Missy will be happy to be away from Chomsky, which is John's cat. And his cat is one, but he's a menace and does not know how to be nice. He thinks playing is running up and smacking Missy. Yeah, the two older cats that we will have, because we agreed to, well, we said we would take the two older cats that were Kyle's great grandma, I think. I think great grandma on his stepdad's side anyway. She had two cats, and his mom and stepdad did offer to let us rent the small house that his granny lived in before she died. She was like 100 something when she died. I don't remember exactly how old, but I know she was over 100 years old. But yeah, and the whole thing was we had to take the cats. Well, we're not moving into that place because we decided we didn't want to put up with the hassle of, because they're going to put that house, their big house, and the small house on the market. So we don't really want to deal with the hassle of having to find a new place like 2 weeks to a month, with only 2 weeks or a month's notice of you have to get out of here because this place is being sold. So we're not going to put up with that. So we didn't agree to that. It was a good deal. It's just they're putting the houses up for sale. So it's kind of like, yeah, when you really think about it, it's a good deal and everything, but no. But then we did agree to still take the cats. They're older though. The oldest one is 18, so 2 years older than Missy. And I think the other one is around Missy's age. But they're going to be more on her level of energy. So she's probably going to be a little less stressed out than she is here with John and Chomsky, because Chomsky is just a huge ball of energy, and he doesn't know how to be nice. Like I said, Missy walks by and he smacks her. She's gotten to the point where if she notices that he's walking or heading towards him, she goes over and hits him to stop it right away. She's like, nope, goes and smack. And it's funny, she doesn't really claw him or anything. He has left scratches on her nose. She hasn't left any marks on him. That's because she'll hit at him mostly. She doesn't actually connect and actually hit him. I was like, you need to actually hit him, miss. He's not going to be nice if you don't do that. You gotta not be nice and hit him. But I can tell she's a little stressed. And when Kyle saw her last, he did say that she looked like she lost some weight, which is not good for a 16-year-old cat, even though she's a big girl. And she still is. She's still a big girl. Yeah, you're still a big girl. Yes. Anyway, that's an update on her. Update on me. Work-wise, the manager better listen and follow my doctor's letter, because I had to talk to my doctor when I saw her. Oh, that was another thing I was going to say with the Zepbound. Rabbit Trail, just wait. She wrote a doctor's letter for me stating that she recommended me not to be scheduled to start work till 9 in the morning. No earlier than 9 in the morning. You can do later, but not earlier than 9. So Caden really is not supposed to be scheduling me earlier anymore. Because he was, and again, you're right there. No. Stay off. You don't need to be there. Yeah, she was going on the shelf again. He liked to schedule me at like 7:30, so I would have to get up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock just to get to work within like the half an hour that I really like to give myself. So yeah, normally I get to Safeway half an hour before my actual time to start is now. Missy. No. Anyway, yeah. No, I like to be early and have enough time if I forget something, I can turn around and go back and get whatever I need and come back. I have the time. That's something that Kyle and I both share in common. The only difference is that he usually goes about an hour early. And I'm like, yeah, hour early. No, I'll do half an hour at the most, for the most part. Unless I need to do something or talk to somebody before I start work. So, yeah, anyway, I gave them that, so he can't be putting me at any time earlier than 9:30, or 9, not 9:30. No earlier than 9 in the morning. Hey. What are you doing? She's on the shelf again. And then the Zepbound. Yes, I'm at 140 pounds. They're, my doctor put me back on, no. Come on. Back on the lower dose because, come on. Go over there. One, we're at a decent weight that she's happy with. I would like to lose another 10 pounds, but that's me. And I could still lose it while being on this smaller 2.5, I think it is, milligram. I keep forgetting. Is it milligrams? Yeah, milligrams. 2.5. The main reason also that she did that was because my blood pressure was low. Now, my blood pressure normally runs a little on the lower end, but this was low for me. And I have had times where I've gone from crouching, getting something out of the fridges at work, and going standing up. I get dizzy. I get very dizzy. And yeah, my doctor's like, that's because your blood pressure is low. Stay off. Your blood pressure is low. So we're going to lower the dose. Because that's what she's thinking is causing my blood pressure to be as low as it was. I think it was 90 over something. I don't remember exactly. But I know the top number was 90, which, yeah, it's not really good. They actually took my blood pressure quite a few times because the nurses were like, it can't be that low. And of course, they kept asking me, how are you feeling? Are you like dizzy or lightheaded? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I feel fine. But lowering that, and then my doctor wants me to drink more electrolyte water and eat more protein. Actually eat, because yeah, the Zepbound has kind of made it where I really don't eat hardly anything, like almost nothing. Yeah, so thankfully Kyle's diet consists of quite a bit of protein rich stuff. So yeah, he's already cooked quite a few things for me to eat. And when we gone out, I wanted to get fried mushrooms and pretzel bites. He's like, that's not protein. You need protein, remember? And I'm like, fine, I'll get the chicken tenders then. Happy? Yes, chicken tenders is what I got instead of the fried mushrooms and pretzel bites. Yeah. So, and I'm trying. I had a egg and pesto sandwich earlier this morning. I did get some protein yogurt or Greek yogurt. It has 20 grams of protein in it, so I did that. And this is over 30 minutes. I did not mean for it to be this long, but again, my mind goes down a rabbit trail, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have this to talk about. Oh, but I have that to talk about. Yeah, that's ADHD for you. That's how you can tell I have ADHD, because I go off here, and then I go off here, and I go off on tangents, as Kyle says, and I'm like, yeah, I do. Something reminds me of something. I'm like, oh yeah. It can be like completely opposite of what we're talking about. And he said that kind of annoys him, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'll work on that. But it's not a whole lot I can do when that's just something that my mind does. It goes off on tangents. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's all I have to update on, really. Oh, I was saying work, yeah, and the manager is still being pretty much an ass. I have to be more careful on TikTok on what I say, because I don't know what to call her, because, I mean, his fiance or his girlfriend, or I don't know what's going on between them, because I don't talk to her, I don't see her that often. She doesn't work at Starbucks anymore because Caden proposed to her, so she couldn't continue working there with him being the manager. He's an ass. He is. I mean, why else would I have had to get a doctor's letter saying that you can't put me to work at earlier than 9 due to my chronic fatigue? I told him about my chronic fatigue and told him why I can't work that early. And it's like, you don't have to put me on closing. You can put me in mid-shift, just don't put me as early as you have been. So now he can't. Or it's not recommended for him to do that. I'm still wanting to transfer out of Starbucks. I mean, as long as he is working there and as a manager, I don't want to be there. I've liked working at Starbucks up until he came. And he was manager. He's manager. He doesn't listen at all. I mean, yeah. But once I get married, well, once I know when my surgery is and when we are going to get married, then I can talk with the director, Corey, about transferring to a different department. And if he can't or won't transfer me to a different department, I will put my 2 weeks notice in, and I've applied already at a few different places. 2 different spots I applied for at Walmart as well, and it's like, I really hope I can get up to Walmart if Corey doesn't want to move me to a different department, because I am not staying there. And I'm definitely not staying there when we're doing mobile ordering. We don't have enough employees at Starbucks to do mobile ordering, and the town isn't big enough to really do mobile ordering. Subway tried to do that when Kyle was still working there. They aren't doing mobile ordering anymore because it didn't work. We're not a big enough town for mobile ordering to work. And like with us, Starbucks does not have enough employees to do that. Most of the time, I'm by myself closing, or Lila's by herself closing, because we're the 2 ones that close. But yeah, because apparently there's not enough customers coming in for closing hours to have 2 people working closing, which is bullshit, because yeah, no, we get quite enough trafficked coming in customers on closing hours. No, it's much better when we have 2 people. And we can get out at a decent time. Like tonight, we got out at 7. We got everything pretty much done in like 5 minutes to 7. We just put the espresso machine through its cleaning cycle, and then she went to take out the trash, and I mopped. I pretty much at 6:56, I put the clothes signs up and just mopped. She came back, everything was done. So we got to leave early. Anyway, yep, I think that's it. This is long enough. Way longer than I wanted it to be, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, that's it.